Representative Santora.
Again, I know it's been a long morning into the afternoon now, and thank you for being here and answering these questions. On the education front, the governor has $100 million in the BEF. The first $14 million of that gets taken out and goes to Erie. There's $86 million left. Is Erie included in that $86 million as well under the funding formula?
Distribution? The additional $14 million provided in the current fiscal year through the education access line will now be rolled up and is an addition to Erie's entitlement under the fair funding formula. It's a one-time adjustment to their base. So yes, it is included. Included in that $100 million increase is the need to fund a $14 million base increase.
That's only one time?
For the Erie School District. That's a recurring adjustment then to their base. So
I got you. But this year it's coming out of the increase.
This year it's coming from the education access pot. In the 18-19 fiscal year, it'll come directly from the basic education subsidy.
And can you explain a little more to me so that I have a better understanding, and my constituents, quite frankly, have an understanding of what this $14 million is for?
It literally is necessary to meet the financial obligations for the operations of the school district. They will have to take other steps to, like other distressed school districts, manage their operations effectively in coming years so that they're able to now, with that one-time adjustment, keep their annual expenditures in balance with available revenues. As you know or may remember, we had to do the same thing a couple years ago for the Chester Upland School District. We hope these are the outliers and the exceptions. And again, to us,
I do understand that, and they're going. So Erie's going to end up with the 1.2 million increase as well, on top of the 14 that's their base, as you're calling it. My concern is I have two school districts that struggle themselves: Upper Darby School Districts and William Penn. William Penn is part of the lawsuit that ended up in the Supreme Court. The issue there is, how do I get $14 million for those school districts? I'd like to do that, and I'd like to be a part of that. They need it, and I'm not saying it in a joking fashion. I'm saying it in a very, very serious fashion. My school district feels that they're $5,000 per pupil underfunded. If I could get them $14 million in this year and then give that as part of their base every year, they'd no longer have a problem. And I'd even be willing to split it between those two school districts and give a little something to the Haverford School District, because they get a very low number from the state.
We would be right there with you in the hope that we could provide more. We are able to provide, in terms of spending increases, what we believe our budget can afford. Would we, like the $100 million to be significantly higher? Yes. Can we afford, with available revenues, to fully fund that obligation in the proposed budget year? No.
But we all ran on and sold the fact, and I know it. We keep talking about the severance tax, and again, I am a supporter of the severance tax. I've actually gone above and beyond. I've done some things to try to get a severance tax to the floor for a vote. And that was originally everybody's campaign ads, $1 billion for education. Is this severance tax going to education? Wholly?
Look, you can draw whatever conclusions you want to draw.
I get it's going into the general fund and $100 million increase for education, $14 million is going to Erie. My problem is, again, I've got to worry about William Penn, I've got to worry about Upper Darby, as each of these representatives have to worry about their school districts. I have a unique problem. I've got the city of Philadelphia next to me. I've got residents from Philadelphia that go to school in Upper Darby because of court-ordered placements for homeless and for orphans and for custody orders, and they never sleep a day in Upper Darby School District or William Penn. But the taxpayers of those townships and school districts are funding it. I'll leave it at that, and I know you're putting an effort to increase education funding, but I really wish we could take a real look at that and put it where it needs to be. Thank you.